What a trip today. Halls Creek Narrows, deep here in the heart of Capitol Reef National Park. Utah's least visited national park, one of the mighty five out here today. Park Junkie on the scene. Got my girl Sherri with me. We're making our way through the Halls Creek Narrows today after a brutal slog yesterday in the sunshine. Temperatures over 100 degrees already here at the end of May. And nothing like a trip through Halls Creek to make it all worthwhile, huh, Sherri?
Yes, definitely the little oasis out here in the desert.
No doubt about that. These little corridors of water that we pass through here, making our way down through the Halls Creek Narrows, definitely refreshing and give you a little bit of life here in an otherwise brutal desert. No doubt about it. We're going on downstream. Let's roll. All right, well, here we are at the trailhead, sucking down some last-minute cold beverages before we roll, huh, Sherri?
That's right. Got to get the last cold beverage we can.
Yeah, there's nothing cold down there. The last iced beverage we'll see for a couple days, because from here, Sherri and I are going to hike down off of this ledge down into the canyon below and hike this sandy wash about 7.5 miles down to where we'll meet Halls Creek Narrows, and from there camp for the night before we head in to explore the canyon narrows bright and early tomorrow morning. Let's roll.
Carry water.
That's sage advice right there. All right, well, we make our way down off of the Halls Creek overlook here, down into the actual drainage system here that runs north-south along what is called the water pocket fold here in Capitol Reef National Park. This water pocket fold runs about 100 miles north-south, and down at the southern end on the other side of Halls Creek Narrows, drops into Lake Powell in the Glen Canyon recreation area down there. And that's where we're headed all the way to the end of Halls Creek. But first, we got to drop down and negotiate this cliff system and get down in that wash down there where it should be relatively easy hiking. It's going to be hot, but it'll be easy. Dropping down into the very bottom here, this pile of rocks, a little cairn right there, marking the departure point up that slick rock section. And you can see quite a cliff descent behind us we just made. And of course, as I was just saying, we traversed from here all the way to that. That's where the truck is, way over there. All right, well, we're chilling in the shade, taking a 5, maybe 10-minute break. Super nice in the shade, huh?
It's much nicer than the sun.
Fair point, Sherri. We've got our little friend back here. You might be able to see him right back there. Zoom in on him. Came over and did some push-ups for Sherri a little bit ago, but I was on the trail going back to get a piece of the tripod, which had fallen off on the trail somewhere behind us. Luckily, we went and tracked it down. But we're 3.76 miles in, according to the GPS at this point, out of about 8 miles. So It says we're about halfway mileage-wise, but the map doesn't look to be exactly halfway to the camp. And then we hope to knock out the Narrows this evening, so I guess we better be going, huh?
I guess so.
All right, back to the trail. What do we have here?
Apache plume.
Apache plume, huh? That's these little feathers.
Cool. Yeah, delicate looking flowers.
What can you tell us about the Apache plume, Sherri?
Unfortunately, not much, but it's a shrub.
It is a shrub. It's a unique shrub out here in Capitol Reef, huh?
It grows natively and it's in bloom.
Cool.
Always cool to see things blooming.
Yep, a fortunate time to see the old Apache plume.
In all of its glory.
Yes, we love it. Nice. Thanks, Sherri. There's water. There's more water. That's wonderful. Making our way down toward camp. Battling the flies as we go, huh, Sherri?
Those biting flies are the worst.
The biting flies are the worst. We are finding traces of water, however, which this is really nice. All right, onward we go, huh? Those flies are getting to you, huh, Sherri?
They're so brutal. It's like hard to enjoy it. Almost.
Yeah, you can see a bunch of them around you.
And they're swarming me. The most painful bite.
All right, well, here we are, and what a day it has been. Man, it's hot out here, and we finally made it down to the little area where we're camping tonight, and the sort of the confluence of where the Narrows goes back into the rocks here. Sherri and I just kicking it at camp, huh, Sherri?
Chilling. The biting flies leave you alone when you're holding still.
Yeah, that's exactly right. These flies, man, they really bite you while you're moving, but if you sit down and you just chill, they'll leave you alone. Like a border collie or something, like they're trying to herd you into camp or something. So I don't know what they have planned for us later, but they're leaving us alone right now. We are in the shade of a beautiful cottonwood here, getting ready to set up camp. Anyway, we'll get camp set up, get some dinner going. We got to filter some water and get up in the morning, get it all over again. And we're not doing the Narrows tonight. That's going to be out. We were both just drained from that trip down the wash today. We got here to the shade and we have been kicking it. Cold lamping here in the shade. It's hot and rough, so I'm just gonna lay here for a little while longer. Sherri's gonna kick in her chair. Sherri brought a chair. I didn't bring a chair, so next time I'll bring a chair. All right, well, here we are out at camp this morning down here at the beginning of the Halls Creek Narrows. Sherri enjoyed some coffee here. We're going to have a little breakfast, break down the camp, and get out of here before this hot, hot desert sun scorches our camp here in about the next 30, 45 minutes. Woohoo! Skating along here on the rinks of Capitol Reef National Park. Sherri making her way across Halls Creek. And this mud, as you see, is just a slippery skating rink. But that cool water feels really good on the feet in this desert heat. Oh no! Tripod falling apart. Ah, come on, Park Junkie. Look at this giant cottonwood right here. Has been sucking up water for decades. These cottonwoods can drink up to 300 gallons a day. And I'd say this one right here is getting somewhere near its capacity. Looking really good.
Look at that, some healthy, maybe Gamble's oak back there. Look at the size of that one.
Yeah, that's a big Gamble oak back there, huh? The hot sun down here in the Narrows. You can see the Halls Creek runs right down into this rocky section of earth. And as we look up, you can see that the earth sends the Halls Creek in a 180-degree bend right here and back to the east. Yeah, what a cool zone, huh, Sherri?
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. Gorgeous little garden desert oasis.
Yeah, back tucked into this little canyon right here. Under this alcove, is this what you call an alcove?
Yes, this is an alcove.
Ferns, cottonwoods. What do we have here?
We have ant lions. They build these little funnels, and then when an ant cruises in, they fall in and they can't get out, and the little ant lion is in there and it will reach up and grab it. And I think it paralyzes it somehow to pull it down into its little trap. But pretty cool. There's a bunch of them right here on this sandy beach.
Yeah, as we look at this little guy here hanging on, you can see a little rock fall here. The guy might have been perched up there. The rock fell away and has washed on downstream. But the plant life still clinging on, literally clinging onto that crack and still alive, still making it out here. All right, what do we have there, Sherri?
So we have these beautiful little ferns, but this is funny. Inside of the little ferns is cheatgrass.
Yeah, there it is. The old invasive cheatgrass. And it finds its way deep into these little canyon corridors, and here it is. Pluck it.
This one we can remove the beautiful little ferns.
So what's happening here, Sherri? What allows these plants to grow deep down in these desert canyons, growing right out of the rock?
Well, these mostly maidenhair ferns growing out of the side of the rock are taking advantage of the spring layer weeping out through the Navajo sandstone. And that is due to the porous nature of the Navajo sandstone, which actually allows water to filter and seep down through it. And rainwater will also find its way through weaknesses. And then once it hits lower layers that are non-permeable aquatards, totally PC term by the way, The water is forced out through any weakness, and then plants like this utilize water in the desert.
Here we have a little section that may require a little bit more immersion, shall we say. I'm gonna send Sherri ahead to scout it out.
What?
Not too deep at all. How deep is it going to go? That's the question. You know, the thing about heading into these little zones is you never really know how deep it's going to be. Sherri testing the waters here as we head into this little zone.
Park Junkie taking it easy on the side there.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to get in. I can't go much further.
I think the trickiest part too is just not having any idea of like your footing.
Yeah, that's true too. You can't see anything down there, huh?
No, you kind of just have to feel your way.
Yeah, we could skirt around this water, but it could be fun. What do you think, Sherri?
I don't know. Wet sounds pretty nice because it's looking hot there in the sun.
It is looking hot here in the sun. Look at that. Oh, it's brutal. So, that water looks deep too, doesn't it?
It does. It's a little hard to say with all the algae on there. Can't tell if that's depth or if it's algae, giving it that darker color.
Right? Well, let's test it out and find out.
Okay.
All right, we've reached this little point here where we think perhaps the water used to flow through this section, but now this is a big island right here that we've got. Sherri theorizes that perhaps there was a rock fall right back here at one point in the distant past, and that sent the water this way, huh, Sherri?
Yeah, you never know. It's really interesting how the rock falls can create dams and lakes, and then the water has to find a new, easier route around, or it takes time to work away that dam.
Yeah, that's right. So you never know. I mean, some of these areas do experience substantial rock fall, and every day in these southwestern parks, rock falling, and if it happens to fall into one of these waterways, one of these corridors which water runs through down here in these slot canyons, the water still has to continue moving. It may dam up for a period of time, but at some point it's going to breach that dam, whatever it is, and it's going to create a new way to continue downhill according to the laws of gravity. Do you mean to tell me the laws of physics cease to exist on your stovetop? right on this wall back here. You see all these streaks coming down the wall. Yeah, another streaked wall here in the desert. What do we have going on there, Sherry? What's the reason for all these streaks?
So those massive streaks are formed from water flowing over the top, but the reason you see the streaks there is because it indicates of how overhung that wall is. So that's pretty cool. It shows us that the wall is super overhung.
What are those streaks?
Well, it's from water coming and flowing down, and there's also like algae, and in some places you also have the calcium carbonate, which causes the white streaks left behind from seeps and springs and rainwater.
Look at that water right there just coming right off the cliffs. Flowing, you can see like a little water flow there actually. Yeah.
Weeping.
Wind coming in right now is really nice. Yeah, you want to jump in it?
I do.
Yeah.
It's getting warm out there.
It is. Cannonball. They call her Cannonball Sherri.
Let me test the depth first. Yeah, that's about deep enough for a cannonball.
Yeah. Fork I know.
That's the deepest.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. A little bit of a hole here I found. Wow. Just dropped right off. Suddenly we find ourselves in the mix. Yeah, these canyon walls down here in the Halls Creek Narrows, one of the biggest displays of like a concave formation in this canyon right here. And each one of these walls just swinging in, big alcove, and then the canyon cuts right back in the opposite direction. Sort of a west, east, west, east, west, east sweep here through the Halls Creek Narrows as we make our way southbound. All right, well, that's a nice swimming hole right there. very deep water. This over here against the wall, so deep. I certainly didn't touch. I didn't dive down and try to find out, but a little bit of a slip on the way in. You know, watch your footing. Well, I'm poolside, but should be nice and refreshing and quite accommodating when you're out here in this 100-degree desert heat of Capitol Reef National Park. Absolutely huge waterways that come out of these rocks. Perhaps a deep slog through this little section. Sherri's gonna check it out. She's gonna cruise through and we're gonna take a look at how it's looking. What do you think there, Sherri? Are we gonna be able to wade this, or is this gonna require some swimming?
I suspect that we're going to be swimming.
She suspects swimming. I'm gonna kick back and see what happens. Oh yeah, she's swimming, it looks like, huh? Mm-hmm. Straight out the gate, huh?
Yes. Not there, I'm about to touch there. Now I'm touching again.
Okay. Cool. Just a little bit of a section there where we're gonna have to tread some water across, huh?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Oh, dropped right off there, didn't we?
I could hop up here and grab the pack.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to hold on to that. I thought I was gonna be able to do that, but oh, nope. Oh, look at that move. Can he do it? Yes, he can. Oh, yeah.
You got this, babe. Do you want me to take that?
Nah, I got it.
Okay.
Thank you, though. All right. Well, that was fun. What do you think? Back into the water?
Back into the water.
All right, nice little section right there. Of course, Sherri went through it, got a little wet. I have this pack on, and we have a few things in it, like the other phone, that we don't really want to get soaking wet if we don't have to. So I elected to just kind of skimp out on the other side. You don't technically need to get wet right there. At least you don't have to do any swimming. What is it, a little monkey flower?
Butterflies. Here's a monkey flower. I've been hoping to see some. There we go. There's a couple on the plant.
Just, oh,
And biting flies.
biting flies, monkey flowers.
So pretty.
Yeah, those are pretty.
And there's the plant they're growing on.
Cool. All right, gang. Well, I got to tell you, that is a spectacular little section of the earth right there, the Halls Creek Narrows. It's not too bad of a hike through, only about 3.5 miles through the actual Narrows, and it's pretty well star-studded pass through there, huh, Sherri?
Absolutely incredible. Every single bend and turn is like a little mystery, a little treasure waiting to be discovered.
Yeah, it's all majestic, huge canyon, just big swaths of the earth cut out by little minuscule Halls Creek right here. How are you? Oh, nice climbing. He's climbing at 5:15 right there. As we make our way along the waterway here, you see all of these cottonwood trees. Look at all of them just taking root right here in this sand. Some of these things, as you've seen in some of the footage, grow to very extensive heights, very extensive sizes. We've got one right back here, which is of impressive magnitude. But these little guys taking root during some of the past flash floods, and we'll see a few years from now who among this crowd wins the race. Dogbane?
Dogbane. So the American Indians loved this for making their natural cordage. This is, I don't know, one of the strongest natural fibers. And the American Indians would actually cultivate this and then use it for making ropes and cordage, but it's super strong for the size and weight of it.
Cool.
Cool plant too.
Dogbane. I like it. There's Sherri with a little dogbane deep down here in the canyon.
Yep.
And is that dogbane right there as well?
Yeah, this is the dried dogbane. So they're hollow, and then this is how they would collect the fibers. You'd smash it and then pull it off, smash that, and then pull that off, and you do that with the whole stalk, so you'd keep a big long piece. And then this turned into the fibers for weaving the cordage. And there, you can see real quickly, I can just turn that, would be like a 2-ply.
Okay.
Some dirty nails out here.
Nice. So as you see, the Halls Creek narrows quite a bit different than the narrows over in Zion National Park. This a section of a creek, and of course Zion narrows a section of the Virgin River, which has a continual flow. This creek here, Halls Creek, does not have a continual flow from a river source. There are little springs up in here that provided a little bit of flow, but the majority of the water that's coming through here that would have any sort of erosive effect is going to be flash floods, and you can see a little evidence of that on the trees around here. But overall, it is just absolutely insane that this little creek could produce a massive canyon such as we're looking at right here. The fact that that little creek does not flow north-south along the water pocket fold as it does for the majority of Grand Gulch, moving southward from the Burr Trail switchbacks down here to the southern terminus of the park, but instead carves back into these sandstone layers of the Colorado Plateau, is nothing less than just mind-blowing. It is absolutely spectacular in here, huh, Sherri?
Yeah, it is absolutely like one incredible, greatest show on earth, or another piece of it.
Yeah, for sure. This is insane, just massive corridor through these rocks. And as we said earlier, you'll see a lot of folks out here because the slog into this place, most folks just don't want anything to do with it. In fact, I don't really want anything to do with it. I don't really want anything to do with leaving. Do you, Sherri?
No, maybe we'll have to stay.
Yeah.
We have water, but we're gonna run out of food.
We have water, but yeah, food's gonna be a problem. So we're probably out of here tonight. Oh, look at that little pocket. That's pretty magnificent. All right, I too shall get down into the waters here. Oh boy. Well, it's not really chilly water, that's for sure, huh? Oh, whoa. There you go, Park Junkie. Oh, that is heaven though. I could just chill here. The hell with walking out of here. I don't think I want anything to do with that. This is exactly where I want to be. You can leave me here, Sherri. Oh, hell yeah. Woo! Halls Creek Narrows 99. small little deep section here, perhaps. Looks like it. Hard telling, not knowing, but it does appear to drop off rather quickly. Yep. That's cool, huh?
Yes, embrace the cold.
Embrace the cold. Ooh, neat. Cool, a little section right there. That was neat.
That was so cool.
Always enjoyed dipping down into these pools like this one right here, which is just about chest deep. Yeah, you know. There you go. Excellent. Nice to get a little cool down before we get out of here, because it's going to be hot as hell going over Hall's Divide. Might as well just call it Hell's Divide.
Good call.
It just keeps on going. Gorgeous light. All right, making our way out of the Narrows, we immediately find ourselves in a labyrinth of willows. A lot of fun. Yes, indeed. You can tell there's some water around here somewhere, huh? Very nice, very nice. And there it is, friends. We've just popped out up onto the divide. This little ribbon of green right behind me here. The end of the Halls Creek Narrows, just below us here. Southern terminus of Capitol Reef National Park, the beginning of the Glen Canyon Recreation Area, and Lake Powell just to the south. What a little corridor running through the earth. This, the southern terminus of the Halls Creek Narrows, which runs right through these rocks, these sedimentary sandstone layers, for 3 miles back to the north to where we were camped. We're gonna make our way across the Halls Divide Trail right here back to camp, throw all our things together, and head north on the Grand Gulch Trail back to the truck. All right, well, after getting back, packing up camp, throwing everything together there, we're hitting the trail headed back northbound, and it's about 2:30 right now. Heat of the day, brutal right now. Well, I'd say it's 100 plus, but we're going to stop this watering hole up here, top off on our camelbacks and top off on our bottled water for the 8.5 mile trek up out of here. We're gonna chill there for a little bit, try to take off from that area around 4 o'clock so we can actually get into the this corridor in the evening hours instead of doing it in midday. All right, well, after a brief little swim here in this pool and some water filtering, we're set for the hike out, and we're gonna be moving northbound with, thankfully, a little cloud cover that's come in, and that's gonna provide us a little bit of shade in some of those hot sections, hopefully. We're topped off on water. Sherri's got herself all set to go, huh?
Just about.
Just about ready to roll. We're on the move soon. Only 8 miles to go back to the truck where we've got cold kombucha cocktails waiting. Ooh, exciting. All right, 16:57 the time, just before 5 o'clock. As we leave our little sunshade zone back there, Sherri and I head on up into the corridor of Grant's Gulch and head northbound here. All right, as we're hiking northbound on the trail, we are getting blessing after blessing. The gods are smiling upon us here in Capitol Reef National Park. Look at that lineup, north to south, clouds rolling in, giving us a little respite from that blazing hot sun out there, 93 million miles away, and it's a scorcher. However, it's setting slowly to the west, and those clouds rolling from the north forming what will provide us as a nice shelter from those evil rays. Oh my. They are evil when you don't want them, and then when you want them, they're blessed. And And here we are passing by our favorite little Apache plume right there. Look at that, huh? Oh, don't trip over the Apache plume.
I'm tripping on their beauty.
Tripping on their beauty. You must be tripping. A little more sunlight coming on for a quick second. And as you can see, the gods of the sun smiling upon us as we stroll across a cloudy valley northbound here in Capitol Reef. All right, well, here we are making our way up the Grand Gulch, and right here we meet the trail which rolls back up to the truck, which sits atop this cliff that we now must climb. We're cooked. It is a big day out here in Capitol Reef, biting flies and all. Sherry and I have put in probably around 14 miles today somehow. And the last couple are going to be this cliff that we cruise up right now. And we're on the move, right, Sherry?
Oh yeah, we can't stop for long.
No, we're not stopping for long. We're on the move. It's absolutely beautiful out right now, really. Looking off to the north, we got light. You can see rain clouds up there. Up these cliffs we shall go to this point right here. All right, gang, as we're hiking out of here, you can see the scenery spectacular, and we've actually been either gifted or cursed with a little bit of rain right now. Feels like a blessing at the moment, but we have some clay roads to drive on the way out of here. And so if we were to stay here for the night, which was the plan upon exit, well, it might provide us with an impassable situation tomorrow morning when we go to leave on these clay roads. So we're probably going to get to the truck and have to shoot out of here without delay. But the rain certainly does feel nice right now as we finish out the route here in Halls Creek Narrows. Looking out to the north, Sherry and I are blessed with a spectacular view as we make our way out of Grand Gulch here in Capitol Reef National Park. What do you think, Sherry? What a trip, huh?
What a trip. It's gorgeous. Beautiful little rain. We even talked about that. Maybe we'll get a little rain. That wouldn't be bad.
We did mention it, and here somehow nature delivers. Very interesting. What a day, huh?
Yes, amazing. Exhausting.
Halls Creek Narrows. Certainly not for beginning backpackers. Let's put it that way, right?
That's right.
All right, let's roll. Woo. bad. All right. Way to go, babe. Nice work. Right there, the Halls Creek Narrow sign. Oh man. Look at that. Oh boy. That was pretty cool. Oh. That's it. Calling it a day.